Around 3 months after leaving Egypt, the children of Israel arrived at the wilderness of Sinai and camped at the base of a great mountain. This was the same mountain where Moses had first seen the burning bush and received his call from God. Now the Lord invited Moses to come up to him, and he spoke a promise to the entire nation. If they would obey his voice and keep his covenant, they would be a treasured possession above all people, a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. The people responded with one voice, saying, "All that the Lord hath spoken we will do." Moses prepared the camp for 3 days. On the 3rd day the Lord descended upon Mount Sinai in fire, and the whole mountain trembled. Out of that fire and smoke and thunder, the voice of God spoke the 10 Commandments directly to the people. "Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Honor thy father and thy mother. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Thou shalt not covet." The people were overcome with fear at the voice of God and asked Moses to speak with him on their behalf. Moses drew near to the thick darkness where God was. The Lord then gave Moses a body of law to govern the nation, and Moses wrote all the words of the Lord. He rose early in the morning and built an altar at the foot of the mountain with 12 pillars representing the 12 tribes. Offerings were made, and Moses read the book of the covenant aloud to the people. Again they answered, "All that the Lord hath said will we do, and be obedient." Moses sprinkled blood on the people and said, "Behold the blood of the covenant which the Lord hath made with you." Moses then went up into the mountain, and a cloud covered it for 6 days. On the 7th day God called to Moses from the cloud, and Moses entered it for 40 days and 40 nights. The Lord gave him detailed instructions for building a tabernacle, a portable sanctuary, so that God might dwell among his people. He also established the Sabbath as a perpetual sign of the covenant between God and Israel, a sign that the Lord sanctifies his people. But while Moses was receiving these sacred things on the mountain, the people below grew impatient. They came to Aaron and demanded he make them gods to lead them. Aaron gathered their gold earrings, melted them, and fashioned a golden calf. The people declared this to be the God who brought them out of Egypt and began to worship it with offerings and celebration. God told Moses what was happening and said his anger was kindled against the people. Moses pleaded on their behalf, reminding the Lord of his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Israel. The Lord relented. When Moses came down and saw the calf and the dancing, he was filled with anger and broke the stone tablets at the foot of the mountain, symbolizing that Israel had broken the covenant they had just made. Moses interceded again with great courage, even offering to be blotted out of the Lord's book if it would bring forgiveness for the people. The Lord said each person would answer for their own sin, but he would continue to lead Israel. Moses asked to see the glory of God, and the Lord placed Moses in a cleft of the rock and passed before him, proclaiming his name, the Lord God, merciful and gracious, long-suffering and abundant in goodness and truth. The Lord commanded Moses to cut 2 new tablets of stone and return to the mountain. These second tablets contained a different law than the first. The Joseph Smith translation clarifies that the original tablets held the ordinances of the higher priesthood, but because Israel had shown they were not prepared, the Lord gave them a lesser law through the Aaronic priesthood to prepare them over time for the higher covenant. The story of Israel at Sinai teaches that turning from God is serious, but turning back to Him is always possible. His mercy endures. His patience is deep, and His invitation to dwell among His people has never been withdrawn.